Yeah. You know what it is, man. Jay the Hittman. Chrome Recordings. What you drinking on, baby? Give me a Hennessy.
Yep, Charlemagne the God, the Prime Minister of pissing people off, the ruler of rubbing you the wrong way, the architect of aggravation, and right now you listening to the Last Call podcast. Peace.
Hittman. Yeah. You know what it is, man. It's your boy Jay the Hittman. We back. Last call. Y'all see what it is, man. Last call the podcast. You know we had last call the show, radio show. Shout out to Courtney, First Lady. Shout out to Jim Shoe, AngelFace.tv. But now we're doing the podcast too, and we're gonna be addressing all type of things, man. Shout out to Charlemagne the God for that intro, man. He gave me that drop about 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago at his book signing. Shout out to the God, man. He represented for your boy last call. Yeah, man. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to all the fam. Shout out to JD, man. Today we got a special guest in the building. Mr. Stevie Gunz, former NYPD, now pastor, father, my big bro. We're going to get into it. Let's get it. Yes, sir. What up, big bro?
All right. What's up? Oh, darn. Hold on, Jay. Okay.
Yeah.
What's up? Dude? You good?
Ain't nothing much, big bro. How you been, man?
I'm blessed. Just trying to find a silver lining in all of this mess.
Yeah, I know, man. It's a lot going on, man. I'm going to tell the people, man, we tried to do our interview about a day or two ago. We had a couple technical difficulties. But you know what it is, man. We back in the building. Last call. Our special guest, Mr. Stevie Gunz. We're going to go over a couple things. Like I said, man, I'm going to let them know this is my big bro here. He, my mentor, kind of like a father figure to me. You know what I mean? From back in the day, I met Steve when I was about 18 years old. And he took me under his wing. You know what I'm saying? And he did a lot for your boy. He taught me how to drive. Taught me how to be a man, how to smell good, how to dress good. You know, man, he put those gems on us, man. Shout out to Charles Jr. You know what I mean? He was there too. So I got to give him a shout out and whatnot. But special guest in the building, man, Mr. Stevie Gunz, man. Did you I know you went to church today. Today's Sunday. You went to church today?
Yeah. You know, the thing about church is, you know, we are the church. Although the pandemic had the church building closed, but if we're the church, we still open. Wherever I go, you know what I'm saying, I represent Christ. You know what I'm saying? So, so church in the physical form is just a building. But the Bible said that we are the church. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I go, you have to always give God time, glory, and honor. You know what I'm saying? Give God time. No matter what you do, whether you get on your knees, whether you're praying in the car, always find time to give God time.
That's real, man. We do, man. You know, that higher power is more than the truth and necessary every second of the day. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel you, man. You know, people don't know. If they don't know, y'all don't follow Mr. Daly or follow myself. Mr. Daly from Brooklyn, a former Marine, former NYPD officer. He'll break that down. A father, 6, married man. How long you been married, Steve?
We actually coming up on 25 years. And it's funny you should say that because we're going to have a 25th year wedding. So I'm just letting you know, expect the invitation for you and wifey to come.
Oh, man, facts. They've been married
forever. Yeah, that's funny you should mention that. When we first got married, we did City Hall. And then 10 years later, we had a big wedding with 4 of our kids, where Jason was my best man, Isaiah walked my wife down the aisle, Lexus was the flower girl, and Christian was supposed to be in the rainbow, but he didn't want to participate, so my mother-in-law had to drag him down the aisle.
Hell no. He said, I don't want to do it.
He, you know, there's always one cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in the family. Right?
Hey, you got 6 of them, man. You know, you got that Brady.
But you know the crazy part about it? My daughter Epiphany, my oldest daughter, who just turned 30, she wasn't involved in the wedding because for 10 years I didn't see her.
Oh, damn. Okay. Tell us how to...
I gotta talk. Yeah, I gotta talk about, you know, we get a chance, I'm gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody know the good part, but I have no problem being transparent about the bad part neither.
And that's dope. That's dope. That's just being a man about it. And the good thing is y'all together now. And,
we tight as ever, yo. That's
you
my
can't,
guy.
you can't make up for lost time, but you can make the future better. You know what I'm saying?
100%. You know, I was young and dumb at the time, and a lot of it, me not seeing. What was crazy, Jay, was anybody that knows New York, the boroughs are not far apart.
Right.
I'm in Brooklyn, she in Queens, and we didn't have a relationship because me and her mother was at war, and I'll never forget the time we had family court, and her mother walks in. Her mother, of course, walked by me because she was upset. And mind you, we are not at odds now. We cool, ain't no beef. You know, we grew up out of that building. But I remember my daughter walked in and walked right past me, man, and that's where, and didn't even speak. That's where we was at that time. But thank God, my daughter's my ride or die right now, yo.
Yeah, I see it, man. I tell everybody, man. I know Epiphany, man. Before all the rest of them came, you know, back in Jersey, where we lived in Jersey, she was a little baby. So I already know how you love your kids, man. I know, again, you know, I want to touch on, you served the country when you was younger. Tell me a little bit about that going into the service.
You know, I joined the Marine Corps in 1984, right out of high school. I was planning to go to college, and at the last moment, I wound up joining the Marine Corps. But I actually joined the Marine Corps because I was trying to get away from my mom and dad, not because they were bad parents.
Right.
Understand this, those that are listening. I was blessed to have my mother and father, but let me tell you, my dad was Reverend Ezekiel Daly, Alabama Pentecostal preacher. Woo!
No joke.
Yo, he was walking on water, parting Red Seas. Yo, oh my God.
I feel you. It must have been tough.
Yo, we was in church when church was closed, homie. Oh my God.
He was on church on the 8th day of the week.
Oh my God, dude.
And an extra day.
Dude, we was, even the angels took a break, dude. Not us.
He said, even the angels was like, y'all there today? We ain't coming today.
The angels would be like, take a break. Oh my God. So we was in church on Wednesday nights, Friday night, Wednesday night service, Wednesday night Bible service, Friday night service, some Saturdays, we would be in church frying fish to feed the community, and on Sunday, the whole church smelling like whitey fish, yo, right?
It smelling like whitey fish. Hey, man, I can imagine, speaking of whiteys and whatnot, they act crazy out here. Now, so how long you served? What was your time served in the military?
I joined the Marine Corps in '84, and I was in the United States Marine Corps. Why did I pick the Marine Corps? You know what? It was no disrespect to the other branches of the service, but ain't nothing like the Marines. The Marines is the few, the proud. You know what I'm saying?
My pops was a Marine, so yeah.
Well, shout out to your pops. Once a Marine, always a Marine. There's benefits to joining the military. My feeling. This is just my personal feeling. If a young man ain't got nothing going on and he's not going to school and he's just working a little, I don't know, job or whatever.
Right.
You want to go to school and have them pay for it. Do you know, Jay? I had the most money in my life when I was in the military. You know why, Jay? Because I lived on base. So on base, you didn't have to pay for meals. You get 3 square meals a day: your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. And I didn't have to pay for housing. Your biggest bills in life is normally your housing and your grocery bill. I mean, other than if you got an expensive car. But the Marine Corps was a part of my life that was great. Although you couldn't pay me to go back through Marine Corps boot camp because that is hell.
I'm sure.
Listen, I tell you a story, make you laugh. We're in the bus. After we landed from the plane, and we're in a bus going to Paris Island, right? Mm-hmm. And it's about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And what they do, Jay, is they drive you around the island for about 2 hours because it's a small island, but it kind of gets you confused so you don't escape, right? So the bus pulls in, right? It pulls in, and Jay, I kid you not. I'm sitting in like the third row, bus pulls in, boom, door open up. Yo, the bus driver got up and ran off the bus. I was like, wait.
What the hell?
Yeah, yo, Jay, he got off and just left.
That nigga said, I'm out this bitch.
Jay, this 6'8". This dude was blacker than your shirt and hat. Okay?
Nigga purple.
Dude, all you saw was his pearly white teeth.
Dang.
He got on the bus and said, welcome to the United States Marine Corps. Your God, your mother, and your father right now. He says you got 5 seconds to get off my bus, and 3 of those seconds are gone.
Damn.
Okay? I tell you, everything in me malfunction.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. But the Marine Corps, I'm not going to say it made me a man because my dad had a lot of influence in my life.
Facts.
But that Marine Corps made me so mentally tough.
It added those morals to you. It added those.
Yo, Jay, if you can't be beat mentally, you don't lose.
That's real.
You don't lose.
You're
so
not
so I served in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
I learned a lot of things in the Marine Corps. How to fight at 16A2, knife fighting, hand-to-hand combat, all those things. But it was a great 4 years that helped my career and still help me to this day.
Right. So speaking of boot camp, you come out the service as a young man, because you're still pretty young, because if you went in there like 17, 18, 4 years, you're like 22, 23, you're still a real young man considerably, you know what I mean? So then, you in Brooklyn, I know you was in Jersey and whatnot. So then, we out in Jersey chilling, doing our thing. And like I said, one day we get a have a little meeting that we had. You know how we used to have our little round circle meeting, sit at the table. Just so y'all know, Steve always wore suits at 21, 22. I mean, his closet was full of suits, all type of suits.
But do you know why, Jay?
What?
Listen, young men. Never dress for the job you have, dress for the job you want.
Facts. Check them gems, you feel me? So he always had suits lined up in his closet. It was Steve Harvey closet and shit, you know what I mean? So we came home, we having a meeting, and he said, yo, man, I'm going to be an NYPD officer. Now, we in Jersey. So we know you got to live in New York to be an NYPD. So this man, Steve, was about to leave. So we're like, yo, you about to be a what? A cop. Now, mind you, none of us is criminals. We all clean. But, we ain't really, the cop thing was like, hey, we leave them niggas over there a little bit. You know what I mean? But tell us, how did that come about? How did the NYPD come about?
We were both working together for Independent Savings Bank.
Correct.
Right? And I always understand this, young men and young women that may be tuning in. There's a difference between a job and a career. A job is a 9 to 5, you get a check, you go home. A career is something you do, and at the end of that career, you reap a benefit for what you sold.
Right.
Okay? So for all you that have a job, start looking for a career, because your job can end today. I give you a prime example. I had a relative. Don't want to throw his name out, but I had a relative that worked for a group of people, and it was his job.
Right.
And one day, the owner of that job passes away, and his son no longer wanted to continue the business. So my relative, who had worked for them 25 years, he just got a severance pay, and that was it.
It's crazy.
He don't have no pension. He don't have no benefit. See, young black people, young black men, young Hispanic men, y'all got to understand something. You got to get a career. I tell all my boys in the barbershop, and I know a lot of barbers, it's cool that you standing there making that money, but you can't do that forever. At some point, you're gonna age, and your back gonna hurt, your feet gonna hurt. Are you even paying into your Social Security?
Right.
Because something happens to you. So what happened was, I started weighing my option. I looked at the NYPD, but here's the real truth. I get to carry a gun for real, dude. I get to carry a 9mm with a badge.
All right.
You want to know the truth? That's the truth.
Right. I feel you.
Get to carry a gun, make more money, and it had the benefits. Because at some time, young man, you want to grow up. You might have a family.
And you was always like I said, like a father figure, even though you wasn't that much older than me, about 5-6 years older than me. But your mannerism was always real mature. So I see you giving back to the community in that manner. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Listen, man, I love the hood, man. But Jay, feel me on this. Dudes need to stop saying it's all good in the hood, because it's not.
Right.
It's not all good. How's it all good in the hood when the bodega you go to is selling the food that kills you?
Right.
High blood pressure. Why is it that you walk to the bodega and the bodega is full of little kids of color and they getting sandwiches, microwave, and soda? How's it good in the hood when you can buy a 50-cent can of beer? That's not good. How is it good in the hood when the schools are some of the worst schools in reading and math?
Right. That's real. You're right.
How's it good in the hood when grandma can't sit in the park because dudes get mad and they pull out guns and shooting each other? So that phrase, "it's good in the hood," that's one of the biggest lies that can ever be told.
That's real, because rest in peace, Tupac, was one of the God MC to me as far as artists. LL cool, of course. But you make that money and you move out the hood, and people get mad at you for moving out the hood. But the fact is, we do better so we can get out the hood. Now, that don't mean you don't come back to the hood and take care of the hood or get those who are willing to make better of themselves. But we do better so we can get better. You know what I mean?
Listen. People get mad when people move out the hood. Okay, so I don't have a problem with people moving out the hood. Why? Because you want your children with a better education. That's just the truth. You listen. I don't want to come home and live in the projects and have to smell pee in the elevator.
Right. I
don't want to come home and see crack valves laid out in front of the building. I don't want to come home and see a dope head. Listen. You know what bothers me? How come when every young black man is doing good, he acting white, and whenever a young white man is, I don't know, acting bad, he being black?
Yeah.
Yo, if we know our history, we kings and queens, yo.
Facts, yo. Facts.
Right. The people that was taken from Africa, they weren't slaves.
Right. That's real.
There was kings and queens. There was doctors. There were lawyers. So don't get it twisted that when you doing bad, you being black. Nah, get out of here.
Right. Black is beautiful. It ain't nothing such thing as black is bad luck. Hey,
this is no knock on my white brothers, because I got many white brothers and sisters that I love.
Right.
But the problem is, we don't love each other. We don't love, and if you don't love yourself, don't expect nobody to love you.
Right, that's real talk.
Don't get me preaching. Don't get me preaching.
Hey, it's all good. It's Sunday, my dude. But okay, so you joined the force. What year did you join the force?
I joined the police in 1992. And I joined when I got assigned to the NYPD Transit Bureau, and the Transit Bureau was the unit that protected the underground, the trains. And I patrolled some of the worst neighborhoods, Livonia Avenue, Pennsylvania Avenue.
Pennsylvania, BK, nigga, all day.
Alabama Avenue, East New York, woo.
And how long did you patrol for? Because I know you went up the ranks. I need them to know how you went up the ranks.
I did like a year and a half, and then what happened was Organized Control Bureau, OCCB, came looking for undercovers, and I just happened to fit that mold. Young black dude, I had swag,
right?
I had talk, and what they needed was, and a lot of people feel me on this, Jay. It bothers me when our people are the poison in our community.
Right. Okay. Explain that.
What I mean. You standing on that corner, giving that mother dope, that dad crack, you're the problem.
Right. Right.
Whether people like what I'm saying right now, you're the problem.
Right.
You're the problem. You're the one. You know this thing of blaming everybody else. Well, listen. If you listen, I don't knock nobody hustle. Listen,
right.
Hustle's your hustle. But I got family members that are hooked on drugs. And guess who put the drugs in their hand?
The dope boys. Us.
You understand what I'm saying? So I joined narcotics, and I started off in buying bus operations. Buying buses, the unit that pull up on dudes on the corner, buy a couple of bags, boom, snatch them off the corner, right? Okay. And then from there, I went to the school narcotics team where I was working as an undercover in and around school areas. You'd be surprised how many of our people are shame on you when you're destroying the area where little kids have got to go to school and learn, or shootings are happening.
Right.
And then from there, I went to the major case unit, which is the big dog unit, where I was buying weight and guns. And
that just sounds exciting, even though I wouldn't do it. I'm scared. I'm a punk ass, but when it comes to that, look, man, I love the streets, but that sounds exciting on some movie shit. Like I could watch it in the movie on some N2G, Omar Epps.
You know, I was Omar Epps. You know what's funny? I know Omar Epps. I was Omar Epps before Omar Epps was. Matter of fact, I don't know, Jay, do you have the book with you? The Guns and God book? Do you?
Oh yeah. You know we're gonna
plug that in real quick.
We're gonna go over this right after we speak on these streets. We're gonna go over the Guns and God by Stevie Gunz, man. We're gonna go over this book.
That book right now, Jay, I just got it. The New York Times call it one of the greatest books that they have. And they said it's like reading a movie. I did some stuff. I was about that life. I had different cars. I had all type of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But watch this now. For all us listening, I just didn't deal with black drug dealers. I dealt with white drug dealers. I dealt with Spanish drug dealers. I dealt with some sophisticated dudes. I dealt with high level dudes. I dealt with a white dude who had a place on Park Avenue, Jay. And let me tell you about this dude. This dude didn't have guns. He had knives strategically placed around in his house. He was an expert on knife fighting. Dude, if you thought you ran up in his house to rob him, he would cut you like a boar's head slice of ham, yo.
He don't even need no gun, huh?
No, D. Yo, Jay, I had gotten so good with him.
Right.
He showed me how he strategically kept knives in the house.
Wow.
So if somebody ran up on him to rob him, he had a knife somewhere where he and you
can pull it out.
So I don't want nobody to think, man, y'all just went after black dudes. No. Here's another misconception. Black people, minority people ain't the only one that sell or use drugs. Stop.
Facts. We know that.
The thing with us is we poison each other more than anybody.
Right. That's real. I mean, I know doing that job, you probably seen a lot of crazy things. Because again, let's get it clear. Undercover narcotics, you were getting drugs off the street, and then I know you dealt with the guns on the street in New York.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Your job was to get the guns and get those type of transactions taken off the streets of the hood or the streets of New York, period. So that's even more dangerous.
Yeah, well, yo, listen. Joe, you know, from the book, when you jump into reading that book, the first chapter, I'm in an apartment in the Bronx. Buying, I think it is about maybe 300 grams and about 8 or 9 guns, yo. Dude, gun. And watch this, everybody. Those same guns are the ones used in our hood to kill each other. Those same guns are the ones used that grandma may get shot by, mommy may get shot by, your little brother may get shot by, okay? Those same guns are the same thing. Now, you know, getting them off the streets, that was huge, man.
Yeah.
That was huge because you know what, man? We kill each other.
Right.
That's just real talk. If you love your people, then you gotta stop your people from killing each other. Just like if you're a cop and you see bad things being done by bad cops, you gotta stop that. If you don't say, ain't nothing worse than a good cop that watches a bad cop and the good cop remains silent.
Hey, and we're gonna touch on that right now. You know what's going on right now with the comment of the law enforcement and you know, and the community. What do you feel about what's going on? You know, I've seen over the last 2 days the riots, the protests. Let me say, I don't know, you want to call it rioting. I don't know, but
no, it is. No, you hit it right, Jay.
The protesting throughout the country, man, it's out of control due to this.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Okay.
There's gonna be some things I'm gonna say people ain't gonna like. There's gonna be some things people may like. Thing number one, those cops murdered that man. Period.
Straight up.
That one cop that had his knee on that man's neck murdered him. Those 3 cops that stood around, I believe you are accessory to murder. Why?
Right.
You didn't do nothing. You didn't stop it.
Right.
Listen, picture. How many times did I probably stop you and Junior for doing something stupid?
A lot of times.
You know why? You know why? You know why? Because I loved you.
Facts.
That's why I stopped you. That's why I stopped you.
Right.
You don't pat bad behavior on the back. Oh, dude, I'm about to get it now.
Hey, man, let them know.
You don't pat misbehavior on the back. Those times I stopped you and Junior for doing something stupid is because I loved y'all. Right. What am I saying? Those cops didn't care about that cop that had his knee. Apparently, they didn't care about the man that died. That's without a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
But they didn't care about their partner. Let me tell you something. When I got the major case narcotics, and understand this, Jay, we was around a lot of drugs and guns, a lot of money. Dude, I could have stole at any time.
Right.
I was around money by myself.
I'm sure.
But the measure of a man's character is not based on what he does in front of everybody. Right. It's what he does when nobody's looking.
Nobody's looking. Facts.
Okay. So you know what I said, Jay? There was some new dudes coming into the major case unit, and I got a chance to address them one day. It's about 6 or 7 guys. And I said, let me tell y'all something. Never steal in front of me. Never take drugs in front of me. And don't hurt nobody in front of me. Because I will grab the mic and go, ooh, yo, so-and-so. So, you know how to do it? You should say, the New York State Lotto jackpot is. That would be me.
That's real. That's real, though.
You know why? Because my mama, who was living at the time,
rest in peace,
my wife and my kids was never going to see me led out of a precinct in handcuffs or sitting in court waiting for a jury to decide my fate or a judge to sentence me because I wanted to steal something. Understand something, young black man, young Hispanic man, young white man, our white brothers that are listening. There is no price on my freedom, dude. The only time I would ever sit in jail is because someone attacked my family and I lost and I plead temporary insanity because I had to get you for getting my family. Take the price off your freedom, young man.
That's
Take
real.
the price off. Because guess what? Jail ain't a vacation.
Sure ain't.
The Bible says, and this is the preacher in me right now.
Right.
The Bible says we was created in the image of God. So if I'm created in the image of God, I look like God. I should sound like God. I should walk like God, but I'm acting like the devil. Cut it out. Cut it out.
That's real, man. That's real. I mean, that George Floyd, man, rest in power. And amongst so many, we can go back to Rodney King. We can go back before that.
But don't forget him. Hey, Jay, it ain't just him. Don't forget God forgive me, the young lady slipped my mind. The one who got shot in her house.
Yeah.
8 times.
We got Sandra Bland. We go Dr. Sebi. We can. I mean, you know,
you got a
bunch of stuff, man, that we can
you
talk
got a
about.
few people. But I'm a fan of Martin Luther King, Jay. I take my speaking style from Martin Luther King. I've YouTubed his videos, how he speaks. Martin Luther King is a chef. What do I mean by that? There's a difference between a cook and a chef, Jay. A cook reheats. No disrespect to my youngins that are working at McDonald's, Burger King, okay, whatever.
Using microwave.
They reheat a frozen burger.
Fact.
Right. But a chef from scratch, and he's thinking about everybody he's serving. Whenever Martin Luther King spoke, he spoke and served everybody.
Everybody.
Okay. My problem, you want to demonstrate? Okay. You want to march? Okay. You want to have sit-ins? You want to have civil disobedient? But here's my problem. You burning down the CVS that grandma gets some medicine from, yo.
I know it's not good.
You burning down the CVS where Uncle Ron gets his diabetes medicine. You burning down the CVS where my little sister works at. But the problem with that though too now is it ain't us that's doing the burning down.
Right.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm a white supremacist or any special interest group, I'm gonna slide in with the demonstrators and say, yeah, let's burn down Target. I'm gonna burn your Target down, and then I'm gonna go home to where my Target is.
Exactly.
I'm gonna target your Target.
Right.
I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry, man. I'm
so I have two questions for you. So, first question: with the NYPD, did you see such a thing as Denzel Washington in Training Day? You remember Training Day, right?
Yeah.
Were there such things like that? Could you say where crooked cops?
No,
or,
because
cop, but whatever.
Listen, there's good and bad in everything.
Right.
Good and bad in everything. And it's funny, I get a lot of questions about Training Day. And here's what I say to everybody. Don't confuse movie with reality.
Okay.
You understand? Jay, you know what I can't watch? I can't watch cop shows. You know why? Because I'm like, oh, that's bull. That ain't happen like that. That don't go down like that. My wife don't like watching cop shows with me because I be narrating it like, no. Yeah. So now, Jay, there are crooked cops. Michael Dow in the 70s. Them dudes was moving. There are crooked and bad cops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Right.
100%. But not on my watch.
Right.
Not if you in my unit. I'm too pretty to go to jail. I'm 5'7", 139 pounds. I'm not trying to go with Bubba to the prison dance, dude.
Yeah, I ain't trying to go there. So there are, just like anything else, there's bad and good. So I get it. What would you say to the people, the protesters who are saying, yeah, burning down stuff ain't good. It's not good.
Okay.
It's good for our community, but they saying we getting that from what they did. And from what it's a reaction to your action. If you want us to do better, you have to do better.
Okay, all right. Hold up. What's going to happen when the smoke clear, bro?
Right.
What's going to happen when the smoke? Because here's what I'm doing. If I own one of those businesses in the community, I'm gonna collect my insurance money and be out.
Right.
Now what?
Right.
Now what?
Right.
Now what? Now I'm gonna tell those people, go file unemployment. I'm gonna collect my insurance money. Jay, I don't know if you remember. You remember the blackout, Jay, in '79? I was probably about 10, so you might have been 6'4".
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay, Jay. The blackout in New York, I think, was in '79. About the same time Son of Sam was killing people. And Jay, Broadway in Brooklyn, was hooked. Broadway was like a little Manhattan.
Little Manhattan, right?
Jay, they destroyed them stores. And Jay, do you know to this day they never rebuilt Broadway?
It's crazy, man. I
Them
know
store
Broadway.
owners collected their insurance money.
You talking about under the train station, right?
Right. Jay, you got to remember, you can set something on fire, but after the smoke, then what? Then what?
Right.
You know, speaking of Broadway, and I just had a flashback. One of the reasons I became a cop, because me and my mother, the day before Easter, because, you know, back in the day, Jay, you used to have to dress up for Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Go to church, right? Me and my mother, my dad gave my mom money. We went to Woolworth. My mom bought me a suit. We went to Buster Brown. Jay, you remember Buster Brown?
Hell yeah, Buster Brown.
Buster Brown. I bought me some Buster Brown. My mom bought me some.
That's funny, nigga.
You know, I never forget. It was a brown pinstripe suit, brown shoes, a yellow tie. My mom got it, but we were walking home. My mom was holding my hand. She had both bags in her left hand, her pocketbook around her shoulder. And this dude ran by and snatched the bags and dragged my mom's to the floor.
Wow.
And she fell. She hurt her knee. She hurt her arm. She hurt her elbow. I didn't fall. I managed to stay up on my feet. And you know what, Jay? I remember in that moment, I don't want to say I wanted to be a cop. You know what? I don't even know if I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to be a superhero.
Right. Right. You just want to save that day.
Because that dude hurt my mom.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what else I got tired of too? Now, mind y'all, I grew up in the hood. I ain't never smoked. Jay, right?
Yep.
I never drunk. Jay, I've been around all of it. Jay will tell you, when I was raised with him in Charles, Jay, was I doing anything? I wasn't. I wasn't knocking nobody doing it. I wasn't judging nobody. I just wasn't doing it. I was in the Marine Corps and I didn't even drink. Jay, in the Marine Corps, I was a designated driver for all the drunks on Friday and Saturday night in the Marine Corps. I made money. I was Uber. I was Uber before Uber, Jay.
For real, you know, way before lifting Uber. I feel you.
Right, but Jay, back to those who say this is our way. Well, let me ask you something. The death of Mr. Floyd, what that got to do with you stealing the TV out of Target?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I'm waiting for an explanation on that. But listen. Do you know what makes change? When we come out, Jay, and this is something, and I'm directly hitting our people. We'll come out for rallies, and at the end of the rally, we go to the mall and start shopping. We'll forget the rally, right? Okay, we'll forget the rally. You want to make change? Come out and vote, dude.
That's
vote
real.
These racist old men out of office, yo.
Right.
Okay? Because guess what, young men and young women, those that are getting locked up because they're rioting, and you may not think that's nothing big. Well, one day you may want a serious job or career, and you got to fill out that application. And they ask you, you ever been arrested before? Oh, yeah, in 2020, I got arrested with, a little misdemeanor for demonstrating. I promise you, your application go in the G file, the garbage file. You got to think. The problem with our people is we don't think ahead. We live in the moment. Burning down those buildings, destroying your property. Okay, you want to do that? Ask this question. After the fire and the smoke clear, now what?
What are we gonna do? Yeah, I feel you, man. We gotta be smart. And I think I pray every day about it. So I think we're just trying to get to these answers, man, and get the right solutions, man. So I
Jay,
totally understand.
They want to demonstrate. You want to march. That's your right. That's your right. I got a problem with dirty cops. I got a problem with the way that people are killed. I got a problem with that. But at the same time, I got a problem with us tearing up everything.
Yeah.
Jay, what do you say? What do you say to the people that worked at the Target now that don't have a job now?
I know. Yeah. It's a catch-22, man. It's a catch-22. I wanna talk a little bit, you know, after you come out, after you came out you retired. So you retired NYPD. What year you retired?
I retired in 2008 because I got sick.
Okay.
I battled with, I have something called ulcerative colitis Crohn's disease. It is a disease that destroys your colon and rectal area. Over the last 2 years, I've had 15 blood transfusions.
Wow.
I've been in the hospital. I just recently got out the hospital in March because I was real sick. For those that don't know what it is, it's an inflammatory bowel syndrome. You know, Jane, I'm gonna keep it real because I'm transparent. Whenever I have a flare up, you have no control of going to the bathroom. Nah.
Wow. Wow,
you
that's
bleed,
real.
You bleed. I'm at a high risk of colorectal cancer. Matter of fact, this week coming up, I start this infusion called Entivio in hopes that works.
Okay.
That hopefully that'll work, because I take whenever I have the flare up and it's bad, I do about 18 different pills a day.
Wow. Well, you know, big bro.
Just to get me to the day. A lot of people don't know unless I tell them. But let me say this to our listeners: there's a difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is on the outside. Joy is on the inside. I can make you happy by buying you flowers, but then I can make you sad by taking the flowers away. Joy says I can buy my own darn flowers and make my own darn self happy. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody to buy me. So I keep joy. There were days where I lose my happiness.
Right.
But I keep my joy. So in 2008, it ended my career.
Okay,
I was real sick.
So, you know, and you know, bro, you're always in my prayers, man. You know that we all keep healthy. And I want to get through these kind of quick here. Just because I want to, you know, get it in here real solid. So I know you became a pastor when you came out of the. Tell us real quick, how long you been a pastor, and what that's like.
Well, what happened was I told my mama I would never become a pastor because I hated that my dad was a pastor.
Right.
Because my dad was helping. He was always helping everybody. And I joined, like I said, I joined the Marine Corps to get away from them because they was just too much church. But there was a call on my life. Being a pastor has nothing to do with standing in the pulpit.
Right.
No. 92% of what Jesus did was in the streets. 92% of what he did. And when he was in the church, he had to flip the tables over. Yeah, Jesus was looting in the church. I just think about that. He had to flip the tables over because they was acting up in his father's house. Okay.
Right.
So being a pastor is about a heart for people. It's about a love for people. It's about taking people and redirecting people. It's about telling the hooker she ain't got to lay down with men to make money. It's about telling the drug dealer you ain't got to sell this to make money. It's about telling dad, go back home to your children. It's about telling mom, you know, take care of your children. So I have a passion for people, and that's what led me. So I was able to pastor a beautiful church in Staten Island for about 9 years with my wife, and then my wife got sick and needed to have brain surgery, and I needed to get her out of that cold weather. She's doing great. I needed to get her out of the cold weather in New York. So I had to actually choose, because Jay, I'm gonna be honest with you, I went up the ladder in church and ministry. Just like I went to the top in the NYPD, I retired as a first grade detective. In the NYPD, if there's 8,000 detectives at that time, there was only 100 or 200 first grade detectives, and I was one of them.
Wow.
With only 13 years on the job. Normally, you're a first grade detective with 25, 30 years on the job. 13 years on the job. Why? Because I had the most dangerous job on the job, and that was that undercover. Okay? But I went up the ranks in pastoral. I had to choose between becoming this, I hate to say it, famous pastor, because that's what I was on my way to becoming, or my wife. And I'm always going to choose my family over everything else.
Exactly.
So I had to relinquish, because I was traveling a lot too. I was traveling the country. I've spoken in Africa.
Okay.
I've spoken in all across the country.
Let's
but
go.
I needed to be home to my wife and my children. Remember this, for those that are listening. Young ministers, your first ministry is your home, period.
That's real, man. God first. And that's dope, man. I wanna give you a chance. I'm gonna plug before we get out of here. You know, we're gonna plug Stevie Gunz, Guns and God. This book is available. And you're gonna plug it all right now. Again, I wanna shout out to you, man. I wanna say I thank you. I love you for being who you are to me, my mentor. This is in the stores. He's also an author, as we can see. I need you to get and give everybody the details, where to find you, where to see you, social media, and let them know where you're at.
Okay. First of all, the book, it is on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. If you just Google Gunz, G-U-N-Z, and God, G-O-D. Why did I put God in it? Because it was God that took me into all these drug buys and brought me out of all of these drug buys. It was God. I did the job, and I did the job well. I did the job correctly. Never hurted anybody. I got a lot of the poison off our streets.
Right.
Whether people can feel that or not.
You're
okay.
learning.
The book right now is being looked at as a possible TV series and or a movie. It's the real deal, Jay. I'm telling you, the first chapter of that book will have you hair on your neck standing up, brother.
You already know. I read it.
You're reading a movie. You're reading a real live movie.
It's real live movie. It's real live movie. Give them the social media, Steve.
The social media, I'm on Facebook, Steve Daily, D-A-I-L-E-Y. I'm on Instagram, Steve at Daily378. My Twitter is Postle Steve Daily, A-P-O-S-T-L-E, Steve Daily. You can get me on that. I have a podcast.
Yeah, let's talk about it real quick.
Yo, that podcast is
called Torn.
Torn, T-O-R-N. You go to you put in T-O-R-N, Torn, the podcast. This podcast.
It's at buzzsprout.com, right?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Jay. Yes. It is 10 minutes of the most impacting, empowering thing you want to hear. And
definitely.
Just to give an example, I'm working on something entitled Stop Being Invisible. Stop being invisible. Dad, your son needs to see you. Stop being invisible. Mom, your daughter needs to see you. Stop being invisible. Pastors, stop being invisible from the community. We got too many invisible people. And because we're invisible, our children ain't hearing or seeing the right voices, Jay.
That's real. Shout out to family, man. Shout out to fam. Shout out to the fam.
My wife for 25 years. We until death do us part.
Shout out to all my nieces and my nephews over there.
Yeah, and to all my kids are special. But look out for Jason Daly.
Yes, sir. Jason Daly. That's my young gunner. That's Steve's son.
This kid is a classic R&B singer, yo.
Yes, sir.
All my children are blessed. All my children are blessed. We are blessed.
Yes, sir.
Here's my motto. 2 things I say. I'm not better than nobody, but I'm different. All right? The other thing I say is stop looking out the window and start looking in the mirror. That's how you make a change.
Yes, sir, man. That's how we gonna end it off, man. Yo, bro, man. I appreciate you, man. I love you to death, man. And hey, yo, man, make sure I get that invitation too, man.
Oh yeah, I want y'all to come because we coming on 25 years, man. And I thank God. I thank you for this opportunity to come on.
Yes, sir.
all our listeners. Jay, can I just leave them with this? Can I look in the screen and leave them with this?
Let them know.
Right. Listen to this. Stop waiting for somebody to validate you. Validation is for parking. Unless they park in your car, you don't need validation. Stop waiting for somebody to sign your permission slip to grow. Stop standing by the mailbox waiting for the approval letter to become great. This is your hour. This is your moment to become great.
Yes, sir.
I bless you. I bless you.
Bless, Dave. Love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
All right, man.
We heard.
Later.
All right, last call.
Last call,
Later.
man.